The uproar over a fashion show, yes, a fashion show in Kashmir's Gulmarg, has exposed the hypocrisy of the self-proclaimed moral police in this region. These radicals who claim to be guardians of Kashmir's culture and Islamic values have conveniently ignored their own past transgressions. But we will expose them all tonight, viewers. Where were these moral crusaders when stone pelters were targeting our security forces in Kashmir? Every Friday, after the prayers, this was a norm. Every Friday. Why did they remain silent when terrorists like Burhan Wani were glorified as heroes? The same individuals who are now outraged by a fashion show were once cheering these anti-India elements, the Gilanis of the world. Because this outrage is not just about fashion show itself, but also about the attempt to impose a rigid and outdated interpretation of Islamic values on the people of Kashmir, Naya Kashmir. It's ironic that these radicals are using the holy month of Ramzan to justify their demands for censorship and repression. Viewers, in contrast, look at Islamic countries like Saudi Arabia that are embracing modernity and hosting fashion shows, once considered taboo. Viewers, this hypocrisy is a reminder of the double standards of this radical ecosystem. While they claim to be the champions of Islamic values, they are in reality perpetuating a regressive and intolerant ideology. It's time to call out this hypocrisy and reject the moral policing that threatens to stifle the cultural and artistic expression of the Kashmiri people. Fashion shows, like any other form of artistic expression, should be celebrated as a symbol of freedom, yes, azadi, and creativity, not condemned as a threat to culture and values.
एक प्राइवेट पार्टी के तहत गुलमर्ग में एक 4 रोज का एक इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज करने की बात हुई थी। उस 4 रोजा इवेंट में 7 तारीख को एक फैशन शो का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन किया गया था। उस फैशन शो में कुछ ऐसी बातें सामने आई, कुछ ऐसा वहां पे उसमें हिस्सा लिया गया जिससे कि लोगों के जज्बात को ठेस पहुंची और अपने आप में लोग गलत नहीं थे। ऐसी बात है कि जिन लोगों ने उस फैशन शो को ऑर्गेनाइज किया था उन्होंने अपने अकल का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया। उन्होंने लोगों के जज्बात के बारे में नहीं सोचा। उन्होंने इस बारे में नहीं सोचा कि वो कहां पे कर रहे हैं और किस वक्त में कर रहे हैं। कुछ लोगों ने ये कहा कि रमजान के पाक महीने में ये नहीं होना चाहिए था। मैं तो ये मान के चलता हूं कि जो मैंने देखा वहां पे वो तो रमजान छोड़िए, साल के किसी भी दिन वो नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं एक बात यहां क्लियर करना चाहता हूं, हुकूमत की तरफ से इसमें कोई रोल नहीं था। ये प्राइवेट पार्टी थी, उन्होंने प्राइवेटली इस फंक्शन का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन किया।
Umesh Talashi, spokesperson of the National Conference. Sarfaraz Wani is a lawyer. Mr. Talashi, good evening. Good to have you. What is the problem here, sir? Why is the Chief Minister, instead of going after people who have a problem with this fashion show, why is he towing this line of the hardliners?
It's not line of the hardliners. Pranesh, you need to understand it. Jammu Kashmir is a land of rishis, Sufis, saints, right? So we are not used to this obscenity, right? We are not against fashion shows. We are not against anything like this. But obscenity, we don't endorse obscenity. We are not in support of obscenity. It happened in the holy month of Ramadan, but had it happened other than any time in the year, we will have strictly condemned it. We are not used to obscenity. Jammu Kashmir is not used to obscenity. So definitely it was not, like Honorable Chief Minister Saab said, it was not a government-sponsored event. It was just a private event. And
No, that I understand. Mr. Talashi, look, I'm asking you a larger question. You said about, values, culture, etc., etc. I'm sure you're aware of what's happening in Saudi Arabia.
Look, what's happening in Saudi Arabia is okay, but Kashmiri people of Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, you said this is okay.
what we have seen after 2019, okay, we have seen a lot of tantrums being played over here.
Tantrums. Mr. Talashi, even if I were to, take what you said, Rishi, Sufi saints, what have you done? Driven out Hindus by thousands? Is that the culture that you're talking about? Then you forgot that this was a Rishi of your land of Rishis, Sufi saints. You forgot Mr. Talashi and this Mirwais Umar Farooq. What is he? Some poster boy of tolerance. Who is Mirwais Umar Farooq? He was a pelting patron. Let's not forget, just because pelting is not happening does not mean the pelter can wash his sins off or hands off. Dr. Ranganathan?
Look, Pranesh, where are, first of all those chauthi fail leftists and proponents of freedom of expression? Where are they hiding? Jara dhunda unko. Under which rock have they crawled under now? All those free speech activists, these Sharia Bolsheviks, as they should be called. So a fashion show cannot happen in the holy month of Ramadan. What else cannot happen? But give us a list so that Indians can be well prepared. Never forget, this is the same Islamist thinking that wants to take India back to Stone Ages. Have we reached a stage where we cannot even state facts? Is it not a fact that this is squarely because a particular religious denomination has increased compared to others? Look, Pranesh, if you were to take as the starting point the premise that all religions are exactly the same, then there is no issue. Because under that premise, if one religious population can be the majority, why can't be the other? But the fact is, all religions are not the same. Some religions exhibit predatory, supremacist, exclusivist views and practices. The truth is, if such a religious denomination becomes majority population, it begins to dictate its social practices upon others really quickly. There are some schools in Jharkhand that now have Friday as a holiday instead of Sunday. And we have seen what happened in Kashmir Valley. The sitting chief minister then even called for stoning as a punishment there. We have seen the state of homosexuals and atheists and women under the majority of such religious denomination. Atheists are condemned to death in 13 Islamic countries. Homosexuals are caned. Women are discriminated. This is an issue for India. The point of the matter is, look, you cannot escape the reality. Changing demography shifts a government's decisions towards appeasement and worse. And this is what is happening right now.
Mr. Wani, what's troubling about this fashion show, sir?
Well, I will say, do not take a religious line in this. Do not play Hindu-Muslim in this. This is not a question of religion. This is a question of constitution in itself. Our constitution is very clear on the point that the artistic freedom cannot override your cultural and social fabric. Every right has its limitations. Do we have any right in constitution which is absolute? Does freedom of speech freedom of speech?
Mr. Wani, it's a bit rich for people.
No.
Mr. Wani, sir, 1 minute, sir. With a heavy heart, I must tell you, it's a very, it's a bit rich for people like you to be talking about constitution. What does the constitution say about the social fabric, sir? Did you say this when, people were slaughtered in the name of jihad? Did you say that? No, you did not. And even today, every time this comes up, you say, don't bring in religion. The chief minister is invoking Ramzan.
This is not even acceptable in any society.
What? Terrorism is acceptable. Terrorism is acceptable. Radicalism, fundamentalism, stone pelting on security forces. Does the constitution allow pelting on security forces, Mr. Wani? Does the constitution allow? Does the constitution allow? Answer my question. Does the constitution say every Friday, gather at the square and pelt stones?
How they divide the people? Talk about it then.
Dr. Ranganathan, 30 seconds. Charu, I'm coming to you next.
No, very simple. This lawyer, the gentleman lawyer, Mr. Wani, would be the one who would say satanic verses of Salman Rushdie should be banned. He's the one who would say that the Charlie Hebdo cartoonist should have been banned. And worse, I don't even know his psychology. Maybe he would say he would condone the killing of the Charlie Hebdo terrorists as one Qureshi did, a candidate who won 4.5 lakh votes in Meerut. This is the reality, Pranesh.
Charu, how long will the BJP, stop at just condemning this, or will you protest, take a stand, take it to the people?
Pranesh, look at the hypocrisy involved here. Now, there was a swimsuit fashion show in the land of Makkah and Medina, the holiest two cities for Muslims in the world. In Saudi Arabia, a swimsuit fashion show. The government endorsed it actually. They talked about the business it brings. Look at our Jammu and Kashmir. Today, Kashmir is actually talking as if वहाँ पर constitution नहीं, Sharia law चलता है. The spokesperson on your show just now was speaking in a way as if some other law is followed in Jammu and Kashmir. What did you do to Kashmir? Music नहीं चाहिए. Movies nahi chahiye. People can't be doing what they want. You destroyed temples. You massacred people by the thousands. By the thousands. And today you are calling a fashion show obscene. Please tell me na isme obscene kya tha? इसमें obscene क्या था? And since when have you become the guardians of all Islamic culture worldwide?
इसमें obscene क्या था, Mr. Talashi क्या था obscene, sir?
I think Charu needs to understand. Being a BJP spokesperson, Charu needs to understand. Your BJP MLAs shouted their lungs out in the assembly today. I was there. That this is obscene. This is not acceptable here. This is what BJP.
No, Mr. Talashi, why don't you expose the BJP by saying that all this is allowed? This is not obscene. Bol dijiye aap.
No, let me answer it. I need to answer Charu Pragya. It was the BJP MLA. It was the leader of opposition from the BJP who raised this issue in the assembly.
Mr. Talashi, do you find this obscene? Excuse me. Do you find this obscene?
Of course I do. Of course I do. We don't endorse nudity in Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, this is nudity.
Yes.
Maybe you know, you should get on a call with MBS to understand.
Okay. Do you remember? When?
Look, we've run out of time. You know, I would have wanted to take this ahead, but unfortunately we can't. Ravi Srivastava, I'm sorry, sir. समय की सीमा है, sir. किसी और दिन, please don't mind. That's all the time we have, viewers. The news are with Navita Kumar on the other side.